Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is M. Ram Babu, Assistant Professor of English, JVR GOVT College, SATHUPALLU, Khammam districts. Today's topic is a poison tree. A poem written by William Blake. It's meant for BA, BSc and BCom, semester 1 students of first year. First, let's have a look at the poem, the poet William Blake. William Blake didn't attend a formal school, but composed poems from an early age. His earliest poems were collected in poetical sketches and published in the year 1783. In 1789, he engraved and published his Songs of Innocence, which showed his mystical bent. In 1792, he engraved his main prose work called Marriage of Heaven and Hell. Songs of Experience, 1794, is in marked contrast to Songs of Innocence. The latter had a sense of brightness, while Songs of Experience showed a Songs of Innocence. The latter had a sense of brightness, while Songs of Experience showed a sense of gloom and mystery. Blake sometimes engraved designs to illustrate his poems. The same symbolic qualities are evident in his illustrations as well. This poem is from Songs of Experience and illustrates the darkness and capability for his present in all human beings. Here, this present poem, A Poison Tree, was written by William Blake as part of Songs of Experience that was published in the year 1794. In deceptively simple language with an almost nursery rhyme quality, the speaker of the poem details two different approaches to anger. The first, openly talking about anger, is presented as a way of moving past it. The second, the speaker outlines the danger of keeping anger within. The poem uses an extended metaphor to describe the speaker's anger as growing into a tree that bears poisonous apples. The speaker's enemy then eats an apple from the tree and dies. Here, the poem is generally interpreted as an allegory for the danger of bottling up emotions and how doing so leads to a cycle of negativity and even violence. This is the theme of this poem, beautiful poem, A Poison Tree. Now let's look at the poem. Let's go to the first stanza. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. And I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. Two different situations are contrasted here. Two different cases are mentioned here in this poem, beautifully mentioned. Here, in the first case, the speaker was angry with his friend, and he told his friend about his anger, and he discussed with him And then his anger vanished. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. Wrath means anger. Whenever he discussed with his friend about the anger, and consequently the anger vanished. The anger dried up. And in the second case, I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. In the second case, the speaker didn't express his anger with his foe, enemy. Foe means enemy. Then what happened? As a result of that, consequently, the anger did grow into a big tree. In the first case, the speaker shared his emotions with his friend. He shared his emotions. Then all his anger vanished. And thereupon, they lived happily. And they maintained their friendship happily. No problem was with them thereafter. But in the second case, the speaker tried to control his emotion. He tried to hide his anger behind his sleep. In case of his enemy, then the anger gradually started growing up into a big tree. Here, this stanza is very beautiful one. It interprets two different situations here in this poem. The first one, controlling of emotions, and the second one, hiding of emotions. Here, this stanza tells us about the dangerous situation that one faces when the emotions are controlled. Here, when we don't control our anger, it automatically leads to bad consequences. That is the theme of this first stanza. If you look at the stanza, the rhyme scheme is also very nice. AABB. AABB. The rhyme scheme is AABB. Friend and foe grow. Friend and foe grow. And also two different persons are mentioned in this stanza. Friend and enemy. In this stanza, two different persons are mentioned. Those two different persons are a friend of the speaker and an enemy of the speaker. These two are mentioned here. Now let's go to the second stanza. Here, it really looks like a nursery rhyme with simple words, simple meter. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with tears. Watered it. What does it refer to in this line? It refers to the wrath of the speaker. Here, in the second case of the first stanza, the speaker couldn't express his wrath to his enemy, and he hid it behind the smile and watered it in fears night and morning with my tears. Here, he nurtured, the speaker nurtured the fear, nurtured the anger and fears and the tears. He was unable to express it to his enemy. And I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. He hid his wrath behind his smiles, in deceitful smiles. He tried to hid it. He tried to hide it. He tried to hide the wrath, hide his wrath behind his willy smiles. And as a result of that, his wrath gradually grew into a big tree. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. Whenever we try to hide something in mind, we always think of that thing in our mind. Whenever it is expressed outside, whenever it is shared with others, automatically it eases our brain, it eases our mind. We feel free. But whenever we try to hide it in the brain, here we feel burdensome, and we always think of that thing in our mind. And as a result of that, sometimes we may burst into tears, and it always seems to be a burdensome thing in our mind. So I watered it in fears, night and morning with tears. Here, the poet hid the wrath in his mind behind his smiles because of fear. He couldn't express the wrath to his enemy, and he hid it behind his willy smiles. Fears, tears, smiles, wiles. Ye, BB. There is a rhyme scheme here. In the second stanza also, we find a beautiful rhyme scheme. And the words are very simple to look at. It seems to be a nursery rhyme. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. It grew both day and night. It grew. What does it refer to here? The wrath did grew both day and night, and bore an apple bright. The hidden wrath grew into a big tree, big apple tree, that bore bright and shiny apples. That wrath, which was unexpressed, which was unshared to the enemy, which was unshared. The unshared wrath grew into a big tree that was nurtured day and night by the speaker. And as a result of that, that wrath did grow into a big tree and bore an apple bright and bore shiny apples. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. Here, Actually, whenever we feel happy and we smile with others, they feel that we are in a happy mood. They don't know what is in our mind, what is we are hiding in our mind. In the same way, looking at his smile, looking at the smile on the speaker's face, his enemy thought that he was happy and nothing was hidden in his mind. And my foe beheld it shine. He was attracted to the shiny apple, and the enemy felt that and felt that the speaker was in a happy mood, and he was friendly, and he knew that it was mine. It means here the shiny apple, the enemy knew that it was the apple of the speaker. Night bright shine mine. Here the rhyme scheme is night bright shine mine. And let's come to the last stanza, fourth stanza. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole, in the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. Here my enemy thought, the speaker, the speaker's enemy thought that the speaker was in a happy mood. It means he didn't hide anything, and he was maintaining the same friendship as before he did. So, when the night had veiled the pole, in the morning glad I see. So, here, the enemy picked up the apple, shiny apple, and ate it. But what happened in the morning? My foe outstretched beneath the tree. He fell dead under the tree. Whenever the enemy came to the speaker, thinking that he had hidden nothing in his mind, but here it happened contrary to his thoughts, contrary to the thought of the enemy. He ate the apple and fell dead under the tree. It means he was succumbed to the wrath of the speaker. Stole, pole, see, tree. This is the rhyme scheme here. And here, these are the four stanzas, four beautiful stanzas we find in this poem. A poison tree. It mainly discusses about the controlling of emotions, which is necessary for a human being. In the present day scenario, it's very useful to us. That's why we feel that the soft skills are essential to human beings. Controlling our emotions is also part of soft skill. We have to control our emotion. Otherwise, it may lead to very bad consequences. We have to control our anger. That may hurt others. And sometimes it may lead to very dangerous consequences. So that is must for a human being to maintain balance in the life, to maintain soft skills in the life. Yeah, this poem is very applicable. It is apt to the present day scenario. And sometimes we find so many things in our daily life because of petty things. People run into quarrelsome and resort to serious things like killing or some other thing. So controlling emotions is the theme of this poem. Yeah, William Blake beautifully engraved this poem, giving us a beautiful theme and an excellent rhyme scheme. If you look at the glossary here, wrath. Wrath means extreme anger, which is our enemy. Anger is naturally an enemy to human being. Watered it in fears. Figuratively, it suggests the poet kept his anger alive by thinking about his fears. He kept it alive and nurtured it, watered it throughout day and night. And consequently, it grew like a big tree. Because of fear, he couldn't share it to his enemy, and consequently, it grew into a big tree. Deceitful means misleading, deceiving the people. Wiles, it means devious or cunning stratagems employed in manipulating or persuading someone to do what one wants. Wiles, wily people, cunning strategy, cunning natured people. Stole here means crept stealthily into a place. Crept slowly. Crept means here get into a place slowly. It means get into a place secretly, like that. It's a very nice and excellent, beautiful poem written by William Blake. Here, this poem, A Poison Tree, ultimately makes a powerful argument in favor of the opening up and trusting the human capacity for empathy and understanding. We have to understand others. We have to be empathetic to others. Even if we have any disagreement with such people, we have to discuss it. We have to share our feelings with other people about a thing. Sharing is important here. Discussing the things with others is very important here. Whenever the thing is discussed, the disagreements automatically vanish. Here, the alternative the poem argues is far more dangerous. If you don't discuss the things with others, that may lead to dangerous consequences. So whenever we have any problem, whenever we have any disagreement with others, we have to discuss it. We have to express, we have to share our opinion to others. Or else it may lead to dangerous consequences thereafter. That is a theme of this poem. And in this poem, if you look at the poem, the speaker presents two distinct scenarios to illustrate the danger of suppressing anger. So we should not suppress our anger, or any emotion should not be suppressed. Whenever we are happy, if it is shared, it multiplies. Whenever happiness is shared, it multiplies. But whenever miseries are shared, they get divided. We can ease our mind with sharing the things with others. That is the main theme of this beautiful poem, A Poison Tree. Here in the first two lines of the poem, the speaker describes admitting his wrath to a friend. In the first two lines, he admitted, he expressed his wrath to his friend. It means he deloaded his burden from his head. As soon as the speaker does so, this wrath vanishes, this wrath ends. Honesty and frankness, the speaker makes clear, causes anger to disappear. Frankness, honesty. These two things are essential for us to share our views with others. But whenever we try to hide something in our mind, whenever we fail to share the things with others, they grow into a dangerous situation. They grow into a very big tree and may lead to grave situations. That is the main theme of this poem. So here, we have enjoyed the beauty of this poem thoroughly. A poison tree. So, keeping all these things in mind, let's apply the theme of the poem to our daily life. Let's not control our emotions. Let's not hide our anger. Let's not hide our disagreement with anyone. We have to share it. We have to express it frankly, honestly. Then it eases the burden in our mind. Then we can live happily. Otherwise, it may lead us towards bad consequences. This is the theme of this poem. And thank you very much, dear friends. I think you have enjoyed the rhyme scheme of this poem, the simple poem, A Poison Tree, written by William Blake, the romantic poet of 19th century. And let's meet again with another topic in course of time. Thank you very much. Thank you.